It's intense, sir. It's intense.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most disturbing revelations made by celebs on this genealogy documentary series.
This is wild. This is. Do we know what he is wanted for?
Number 10, Roseanne Cash. In 2021, Roseanne Cash, the daughter of country music icon Johnny Cash, appeared on Finding Your Roots, where she made a particularly interesting discovery.
Would you like to meet your DNA cousin?
Yes.
Okay, please turn the page.
Back in 1965, Cash's mother Vivian was targeted by the KKK in a racist campaign. The white supremacist group believed Vivian was black, thus alleging her marriage to Johnny was illegal.
She filed for divorce as kind of an ultimatum and wishful thinking, and thinking that maybe if he sees I'm serious, he'll come back.
The controversy only died down after the country singer issued a public statement insisting his wife was white. However, on Finding Your Roots, Cash discovered that her mother indeed had African-American heritage.
Really?
Yeah.
Vivian's maternal great-great-grandmother was a mixed-race woman named Sarah Shields, who was born into slavery in Alabama. Shields later married a white man and recorded all her children as white in official documents. Number 9, Joe Manganello. Actor Joe Manganello owes his existence today to the remarkable tenacity of his maternal great-grandmother, Terviz Rose Darachjan.
Joe's grandmother, Sandra, was born in the Ottoman Empire during World War I. Her mother, a woman named Rose Darachjan, was a survivor of the Armenian genocide.
Darachjan was an Armenian woman who was married with 8 children. In 1915, during the Armenian genocide, her husband and 7 of her children were murdered before her eyes. Darachjan managed to escape and swam across the Euphrates River with her last surviving child strapped to her back. But tragically, the infant died during the journey.
You ready to see what we found?
Man.
She was then thrown into an internment camp where she encountered a German soldier named Karl Wilhelm Beutinger, who impregnated her. On his paternal side, Manganello also discovered that the man he believed to be his grandfather, Emilio Manganello, was not biologically related to him.
Close the door, and whoosh, I open the door, and I'm here in Germany at this time looking at my ancestor that I never knew.
Number 8, Tig Notaro. Even before Finding Your Roots, comedian Tig Notaro always knew she was the descendant of a politician.
Comedian Tig Notaro grew up knowing that she had a celebrated ancestor.
Her great-great-grandfather was John Fitzpatrick, who served as the mayor of New Orleans from 1892 to 1896. But it was on the show that Notaro first learned about her ancestors' upbringing.
Register of boys received into the asylum. Name of the boy, John Fitzpatrick. Age when received, 10 years.
At the age of 7, Fitzpatrick lost his father and was placed in an orphan asylum alongside 2 of his brothers. Surprisingly, this wasn't due to their mother's demise, but rather the limited public welfare system, which apparently left her with no choice but to entrust some of her children to an orphanage.
Can you imagine being in Catherine's position and being forced to do that?
That's something I don't think I could get through.
Fitzpatrick was later reunited with his mother and worked his way up from a newspaper boy to the mayor's office.
The only thing that I know about him is just this man in a picture. It's like, hey, he was the mayor. I don't know any of this.
Number 7, Edward Norton. While Edward Norton is widely recognized for his roles in several popular Hollywood films, it turns out he may not be the most famous individual in his family tree.
Pocahontas is indeed your 12th great-grandmother.
Oh my God.
In the season 9 premiere of Finding Your Roots, the actor learned that Pocahontas was his 12th great-grandmother, confirming a long-held family lore.
Makes you realize what a small, piece of the whole human story you are.
But perhaps the most uncomfortable detail uncovered during the episode was the revelation that Norton's 3rd great-grandfather, John Winstead, was a slave owner in North Carolina. While he wouldn't be the first celebrity to make such a discovery, Norton reflected on its disturbing nature, describing it as a, quote, uncomfortable truth that, quote, needs to be acknowledged and, quote, contended with.
It's not a judgment on you and your own life, but it's a judgment on the history of this country.
Number 6, Fred Armisen. For most of his life, Saturday Night Live alum Fred Armisen believed he was one-quarter Japanese, attributing this to his grandfather, the late Masami Kuni, who hailed from Japan. He would later discover this was all false.
So am I Korean? No.
Kuni was actually South Korean, originally named Pak Young-in, and only assumed a Japanese identity after the 1923 massacre of Koreans in Japan.
It changes the way I think about myself.
But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Armisen also learned that while Kuni lived in Germany in the 1930s and 40s, he engaged in propaganda efforts for the Nazis by entertaining German troops. Additionally, during this period, Kuni apparently also worked as a spy for Japan, gathering intelligence on Southern European and Turkish affairs.
He is one of the most clever agents they have.
Number 5. Lena Dunham. The 2024 film Treasure stars Lena Dunham as a young woman who visits Poland with her aging father and is forced to confront her family's Holocaust past. When Dunham appeared on Finding Your Roots, she discovered unexpected parallels between her own ancestry and that of her character in the movie.
Can you imagine when you were 14, your parents would put you on a boat?
No, I can't.
It turns out that Dunham's great-great-grandmother Regina migrated to America as a teenager, leaving behind nearly a dozen siblings in Europe. Tragically, during World War II, one of Regina's nieces, Ilana, was separated from the rest of her family and sent to the Nazi-occupied city of Kamenets-Podilsky in Ukraine. Ilana is believed to be one of roughly 24,000 Jews who lost their lives there.
To see a personal connection to it literalizes it in a way that is, that's very, very powerful.
Number 4. Joe Madison. Celebrities who appear on Finding Your Roots step into the unknown, unsure of what family secrets might be revealed. While many learn unsettling details about distant ancestors, veteran radio host Joe Madison was confronted with a startling truth about his own father.
It was such a shocking discovery that I felt compelled to call Joe at home before our interview to let him know in private, away from any TV cameras.
In the season 5 episode, Madison found out that Felix Madison, whom he had always believed to be his biological father, actually wasn't.
I appreciated your sincerity and concern.
Sensing the sensitivity of the information, host Henry Louis Gates Jr. first called Madison privately to share it with him, away from all the cameras.
And then the real question is, then who was?
Madison's appearance on the show also led him to the discovery that his biological grandfather was one of the subjects of the controversial Tuskegee Institute syphilis study. Number 3. Pharrell Williams. For many African Americans, having the chance to read firsthand stories of their ancestors' lives, especially those who were enslaved, is rare. Acclaimed music producer Pharrell Williams got this opportunity when he appeared on Finding Your Roots in 2021.
I was born on the 18th of December, 1852. I was born on the plantation near Tar River.
During the show, Williams was presented with an interview given by his great-great-great-aunt, Jane Arrington, who participated in the slave narrative project in the 1930s. In the interview, Arrington shared detailed accounts of her harrowing experience as an enslaved person. As he read the notes on the program, Williams was deeply moved by the hardships his ancestor was forced to endure.
Those words also forced him to confront the cruel reality of what those ancestors actually experienced.
He also uncovered the unsettling fact that his great-great-great-grandfather, Fenner Williams, spent the first decade of his life enslaved.
It's a lot, man.
Oh,
I have to say I am forever changed.
Number 2. Michael Douglas. Throughout his career, actor Michael Douglas has starred in multiple crime thrillers. Yet few of those fictional narratives can match the gripping real-life tales of his own ancestors.
Last permanent residence, Chelsea, Russia.
Chelsea, Russia. You know who that is? That's your father's uncle.
In a 2024 episode of the show, Douglas learned about his grandfather, Harry Danielovich, and his great-uncle, Moshe, both of whom migrated to the US from Chelsea in present-day Belarus. Before they left for America, both Harry and Moshe were caught up in a life of crime.
Anyone who knows the whereabouts of Danielovich is obliged to inform the court where he is.
Harry had been arrested and sent to prison for robbery, while Moshe was implicated in an armed robbery case in 1906 and declared a wanted man in Chelsea. However, it is unclear if he was ever apprehended before he left the country.
This is blowing my mind a little. This is really blowing my mind.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Maya Rudolph. Like many other celebrities who have appeared on Finding Your Roots, Maya Rudolph aimed to uncover her identity.
1860 slave census for a man named John Warren Grigsby.
Cannot believe I'm looking at this.
The SNL alum was curious about her maternal African-American heritage and was given a glimpse into her ancestry. Through the show, Rudolph discovered her maternal great-great-great-grandfather, James Grigsby, who was born into slavery in Lincoln County, Kentucky.
That breaks my heart. Wow.
A census document from 1860 showed Grigsby listed without a name, but solely by his sex and age, 5. This discovery was deeply unsettling to Rudolph, causing her to break down in tears.
Wow. I just can't believe what I'm looking at.
She also learned of another maternal ancestor whose owner's grandson denied him the financial compensation and freedom promised in his owner's will. Fortunately, he took the grandson to court and won.
It just makes you feel like you're part of something so much bigger.
Have you ever made a startling discovery in your family's history? Let us know in the comments.
And if I hear it and I see it, I was supposed to feel it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.